Hey guys, Carl Cooper here on theblack.com at McFadden's with Joe Janish of Mets Today and Dave Doyle of Mets Report. And the topic of conversation now has switched to pitching. And let's focus on the starting pitching for a second. Let's put Santana to the side and let's just hope Santana's going to be Santana this year and he's going to be healthy. The middle part of that starting rotation, Maine, Perez, and Pelfrey, looks like that's going to be key to the Mets season this year based on how they perform. So just want to get your thoughts on those three guys, your confidence in them, and how you feel about those guys coming into 2010. And Dave, I'll start with you first.
Okay. I am not very confident in the three of them to start with. I think the only reason Oliver Perez is here is because we're stuck with him because of his contract, that he would have been gone after the way he pitched last year. Probably very well could have been the worst pitcher in baseball last year. John Maine, I was actually an advocate of non-tendering him. After 2 years of just not being able to be on the mound and pitching frequently enough to make an impact. Personally, I've seen enough of him. I hope he can come back and have a good season, but I've seen about enough of him. And Mike Pelfrey, with the size and the stuff, and you would think he's got great potential, and I hope he fulfills it. If he can stop balking and licking his hands long enough to concentrate on what he's doing, I think he might be able to get it together.
And Joe?
I think the Mets' success or failure is going to be dependent on those three pitchers, on Perez, Pelfrey, and Maine, and what they do. I think it's fair to expect Pelfrey to have a breakout year. I mean, I think he's 25 or 26 now. He's been in the majors now for 4 years. He has all the tools. There's no reason for him not to succeed. I think it's very fair to expect him to step up and be a number 2 starter. If that doesn't happen, we're going to have big concerns because I don't see Ali Perez or John Maine as people you can really count on 100% because of their injury issues, because of their inconsistency issues, their problems with command. So, so again, whatever those three guys do, that's what's going to happen with the New York Mets in 2010.
Now, there are a couple guys in camp, I guess, vying for the fifth spot in the rotation, and just like to get your guys' thoughts on who you think might come out of break camp as the fifth starter in the Mets rotation. And Joe, I'll start with you first.
I really like Nelson Figueroa. I think that if he's given a chance to take the ball 32 times, he will take the ball 32 times, which is something that a lot of pitchers didn't do for the Mets the last few years. From a fifth starter, you're not looking for a lot. Right. You're looking for someone who can just give you innings, try to get you through to the fifth or sixth inning. If you can get into the seventh, great. You're looking at a guy who's probably going to go 9-10 or 10-10, or even on a really good team, 12-10. I think Figueroa can do that over the long haul. The problem is, if he doesn't do that right out of the gate, if he doesn't have success right out of the gate, someone else is going to get thrown into that spot, and then you get into this situation where you got different guys going in and out. I don't know how worthwhile that's going to be over the entire season.
And Dave?
Well, I like where we are right now better than where we were last year with Livan Hernandez and Freddie Garcia looking at the fifth starter spot. So I
top starter last year after Santana. So
yeah, unfortunately, and that tells you how bad the year was. But I like where we are better than that. I would love to see John Neese take that spot if he can. But if not, I like what I saw from Fernando Nieve last year. And I'm fine with him, and I like Nelson Figueroa too. I think any one of them would be nice to see there compared to what we saw last year.
All right, let's turn our attention to the bullpen, and let's start with our closer, K-Rod. I'm concerned about him personally. Last year he pitched in the World Baseball Classic. He faded towards the end of last season, didn't have a good second half at all. He pitched some winter ball this offseason, so just want to get your thoughts on our closer, what you expect from him, and your confidence level in him. Dave, I'll start with you.
extremely high confidence level in him. I'm not concerned at all. He did not look like himself last year, but he looks to me, of course I don't know him, but he looks to me like a guy that pitches on emotion in that ninth inning. And I mean, last year, what was there really to care about with that team? I mean, nobody cared. The team was awful, and he was just going out, finishing off the game without the emotion that would drive him to really have the best performance possible.
Joe?
I share your concern. I'm a little worried about his physical condition. I'm not worried about him as a closer as much as I'm worried about Jerry Manuel as someone who can manage him. When K-Rod was in California, Mike Scioscia was very judicious with the way he used him. You know, he only used him for 3-out saves. He was always monitoring whether his back-to-back days and things like that. Always made sure he was on a certain pitch count from week to week, and et cetera, et cetera. Jerry Manuel just runs him out there and runs him out there and runs him out there. And K-Rod is the type of guy who will take the ball. He loves to pitch, and I think that's in the end could be a little bit of a problem. I think he could have some injury concerns, but I mean, otherwise, you know, he's one of the better closers in baseball, so I'm confident in his ability.
And in terms of the setup guy for K-Rod, who do you guys like in the Mets camp right now in terms of the setup guy, eighth inning guy?
I actually like Dave's choice for the number 5 starter, Fernando Nieve. I think he's got the kind of stuff that would translate very well in the 8th inning. He's got a really hard sinking fastball. He can get it up there to 95 and even more a little bit. Everyone else, I don't know if any of these guys can throw strikes on a consistent basis. I don't know if they can get the swings and misses that you need. So let's see what happens in spring training. But I like Nieve in that role.
Eighth inning guy, Dave?
I'll say first, I don't think Henry Mejia is going to be in that spot. I think he's going to start the year in the minors, maybe even finish it there too. Yeah, as he should. And I would say, and I don't think we're going to see much of Kelvin Escobar this year, if anything at all either. And I think he was kind of the default choice for the 8th inning before the spring training started. So I'm going to end up going with Igarashi. That I think he's going to end up taking that spot. I like what little I've seen of him so far. I think he's got good stuff, and I think he could do it.
The Mets just picked up Kiko Calero. If he's healthy, he's your guy. He's a lights out type of 8th inning guy. He had is one of his career years last year. It's just a matter of him staying healthy, which big question mark.
Well, that seems to be a question mark at almost every position for the Mets. So, all right. So let us know what you guys think about the Mets pitching situation, and we'll talk to you soon.